Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you and I welcome you to this exposition time or analysis time, depending on whichever one that is going to surface first. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, I greet you and I welcome you. I welcome you one more time to this page that you are watching me from. Are you watching from YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa? Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Are you watching from Facebook at Judge Money Blog, at Judge Money Official, at Judge Money/TV, whichever place you are watching, or at Judge Money Blog? Share this video. Don't forget to like and follow the page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share the video. Invite others to join as you are joining us. We are also live on Twitter. If you are watching us live on Twitter, I want you to share the video, invite others to join, and retweet the video, because we want to keep a record straight. We want to actually expose some shenanigans of the enemy. That's what we are here this afternoon to do, because it is very, very imperative that we continue to actually expose everything that the enemy is doing to destroy or get back at us, regardless of what they do. We will always be ahead of them. We will always be ahead of them. So share this video, invite others to join. And we know that the media platforms we are using, they are fighting us. But I believe if you do the manual sharing, we might be able to get to somewhere. So share the video, alert others that we are online. Let me see if we are coming out clear. Let me confirm that we are coming out clear. Those of you on YouTube, you can actually confirm for me that we are coming out clear. Wherever you are watching, just one moment. If we are good to go, we kick off the program. Confirm. Okay, correct. I believe we are coming out clear. So share this video, invite others to join. I want you to look at those two videos that are right in front of you, and among other things we are going to actually touch base with or touch on this time, evening, morning, depending on where you are watching from. We are moving forward. I saw a memo yesterday where they talk about Canon Takano and the German people. I believe that you guys took so long before doing the needful. But whatever you have done a good thing. Nobody is indispensable. Nobody is indispensable. Anybody that wants to destroy this organization must be dealt with or must actually be exposed. So just like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will always say that we run a discipline movement, that anybody who does not listen to the DOS, that person will be removed. I don't know if I did not actually, I don't know if he is suspended or whatever. I didn't actually have time to go through the memo before I come online. But whatever it is there, I just went through the headings and all that. Where the German people, the German, IPOB or IPOB based in Germany, rather, we're actually talking about the atrocious and the insubordinations of Canon Takano just because he believed that his brother is our leader. And he does not know that we only know our leader. That is going to bring us to this adage that says, or what, I will call it, it is an adage that says, Peter I know, Barnabas I don't know, who are you? Then, the fraternity changed it. It says, Peter I know, Paul I know, who are who are the gods. So, in this regard, I want to actually commend them for that, job well done, because they need to actually, everybody in their area, in their own department, need to wake up and come to the party to understand that what we are doing here, it is something that is very, very important. So we must continue, and we must continue to educate our people, because whatever you see, some people are very emotional because they don't know what is going on. They don't understand what is going on. But we will give them time, because whatever they are doing, we know very well that our people, the way they actually, reason, or the way they understand things differently, it is, okay, suspension. Okay. Let me actually recognize some of our media comrades, that are in the comment section. Egu chuku nwa oko alo. Let me call you nwa oko alo. Nwa oko alo. Egu chuku. You are welcome to this program. Thank you very much. Ekek David Chinoye. Thank you very much. You are welcome to the program. So, among others, I don't know where you are watching from. I am only seeing these ones from my end. I believe from Judge Money blog. I'm only seeing this one there. So I want you to also, if you are watching from other pages, share the video, invite others to join. So, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, it is very, very important that we make our movement to be disciplined, because it is because of some people's insubordination and indiscipline. That is the reason why there are so many name calling on IPOB today. There are so many name calling. Everybody that is, is actually talking about IP. Even people who are irrelevant are actually, being relevant in castigating IPOB, just because somebody's insubordination is taken too far. Just because the insubordination is taken too far. That is the reason why they are actually making sure that they bring whatever you are doing, they sabotage it. And if you look around you, if you look around your nation or nations in Africa, the things that is making things not to move forward in the nations in Africa, it is sabotage. Sabotage. People does not understand the meaning of sabotage, the implications, of sabotage. What it can do to a nation, to a fraternity, to any place. Sabotage is something that is very, very dangerous, and we do not understand that this word sabotage, it has, a broader meaning that you may understand. That is why you see them, whatever they are doing, they are trying to sabotage us. They are trying to actually distract us. They are trying to incriminate us. These are the elements that you find all over the place in the media space. And that is the reason why when they are actually, pushing, you will find Facebook, you will find other media platforms or outlets. That is the reason why I said that I must be also on Twitter in real time. That is why we are also connected on Twitter. So, in this regard, when you look at all these things they are doing, the media is giving them that publicity because they want them to be in the front page. Those that are sabotaging what we are doing. But those who are standing to support us, actually defend ourselves from this enemy and their manipulations, those are actually the people who are being suppressed in the media. But that is by the way. What we are going to do, we are going to actually make sure that we are not, we don't pay attention to the number that they show us on the social media. Like I said, when it is like this, we will continue to come online every day. It doesn't matter. We will continue to come online every day. So now I want you to look at this video on top. Let us look at this video on top before we proceed with whatever we are doing. You see this?
For you, you have not done anything, and you people want to tell us in this community. Eh? We have been warning you people, but you refuse. Eh? Will be the last chance you have. Anytime I see you wearing politics clothes or cap or anything about politics, show this car. Fire the car. Go this side. Fire this car. Fire them. Fire. Burn the tire. Fuck them. But
I hope
let me see that person. Who is that person? Let me see the face. Hey, wait. Let me see the face of that person you're wearing. Who is that person?
I'm not sure if
Peter Obi. What have Peter Obi done for you? Eh? What have Peter Obi done for you?
It is coming out.
You have not done anything, and you people want to tell us in this community.
When you see such video,
we have been warning you people, but you refuse.
Happening, just like we have not discussed, we did not actually declare our stand when it comes to this political upcoming election, because we do not want to interfere. But the enemy is doing everything to make it look as if IPOB is interfering. Of course, I have said this time without number. If you do not understand what is going on, that is your problem. It means you will never understand. It means you will never understand, because the enemies, when we stop talking about them, whenever we stop talking about them, that's when they will start bringing out their attack on our people. But it will not stop us from talking about them, because whatever you are actually facing today, it is as a result of you not being obedient to the call of, freedom, the call for freedom. Because if you understand the call for freedom, you will never make yourself available for these criminals to actually kill you, for these criminals to actually intimidate you. Because their only plan is, while they are intimidating you, they are saying it is IPOB and Eastern Security Network. That is the reason why you need to make sure that you keep your life safe. There is no politician in Nigeria that is worth dying for. There is no politician in Nigeria that is worth dying for. That is the only thing I can tell you. Have you now seen what is going on here? Intimidation upon intimidation. And when they intimidate you, they told you that we say we cannot have, there will be no election in Biafra land. That is their own, modus operandi. They are doing it because it is the way they understand. Because they want to, make sure that there is no election. As long as we have actually distanced ourselves from all these activities, as long as we have told you that we are not involved, that is all that matters. Time, has gone by where I am going to come here every day, trying to, use my time that I am supposed to use to do something that is very, very important, bringing our people, teaching them about freedom while exposing the reason why they are in captivity. I will use that time to come to the media and start gossiping. No, I will no longer talk about those people. They are ignorant, they are past tense, and it is it is my mandate now to focus, because our leader will always tell us not to give them popularity anymore. So we are going to actually be abide by that and continue to focus, because ever since we focused, you can see it by the number you are seeing on the media. You will understand that it is significant. It is only something that is good that people will I will say that a ripe fruit, that's what the children throw stone at. That is exactly what you will see in the media space, because the zoo is controlling the media, controlling the narrative. And the reason why they are doing it is to assist this imposter in Aso Rock to actually leave office. To assist him to leave office. Because the exposition for, on the imposter in Aso Rock, and the exposition on this heinous crime and the activities of these politicians in our land and the Western agendas in our land, it is the biggest fear of the enemy. That is the reason why they made sure that they focus our attention on the parallel group which they have created, giving them agenda to distract us, giving them agenda to kill some of us, giving them agenda to desecrate our land, giving them agenda to control the narratives. But we will no longer dance to their tune, because we have actually done that enough. There is time for everything. We will continue to focus. They will bring themselves to the time, to the place where they will never, return. Because there is something I will always say to our people. And there is something Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said. If you continue to kill, Biafra will not come. And if you look through our history, you will understand that that is exactly the truth. If you continue to kill, Biafra will not come. That is, we lost the war in 1967. Do you know why? We lost that war because some people decided to capitulate. Some people decided to sell our people out to Obasanjo. Some people decided to sell our people out to Obasanjo. These are the same politicians that you see parading themselves today as your leader. Why did they sell out? Because they want money. They don't have, these are the problems that we are facing. I see people arguing about our ancestor. Recently, I see our brother Methuselah talking about our ancestors and countering the narrative of one of the comrades about our ancestor. And I am going to actually bring it to you according to the research that I have made, according to the history that I have actually studied, and according to the knowledge I have actually acquired. I want to bring it to you that those of you who are defending our ancestors, believing that our ancestors, they are very, good, they are very, holy, I want you to know that our ancestors shall always be our ancestors. Our ancestors shall always be our loved ancestors. We love them. We shall always love them, because what are they to funkia? What are they to funkia? But the problem of our ancestors, or the sins of our ancestors, we shall confess it, so that we that are in the present shall learn from their mistakes in order to correct this, present and the future. We learn from the past. What are those past that we are going to learn from? From the activities of our ancestors. We are not only learning from the activities of our ancestors in the last, 4th century ago. We are learning from the activities of our ancestors in the last 8th century. Because our ancestors in the last 4th century, they did a lot of mistakes. They did a lot of sellout. They did a lot of things that made me and you to find ourselves in the position we have actually seen ourselves. So many people are ignorant of the history. So many people are ignorant of information. But we are here to actually bring this information, bring this truth back to where it belongs, so that you will know that it is only when you confess your sin, you will be forgiven. It is only when you confess your sin and ask for forgiveness, then you will be forgiven. That is the reason why I am actually confessing the sins of our ancestors, because they sin and come short of the glory of Elohim. I will not defend them in their crime, so that their crime will not continue to follow my generation. They have made a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes is the reason why we are here to correct them. We are suffering today. That is, if it was not a mistake, we will not find ourselves in the sticky situation where we are now. It is as a result of what they have done. As in Ifonye Meteloburu, but you don't understand that context. Ifonye Meteloburu. Our ancestors are the people who actually connived with some European slave buyers, and they sold our people for slaves. Even the law of Chukwuokike said to us, we must love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Who is this neighbor? Our people. Did our ancestors love their people? Talk more of loving themselves. Did our ancestors love themselves? Talk more of extending the love to their other siblings. No. What they did, what our ancestors did, instead of obeying or abiding by the law of Chukwuokike, what they did was that they started hating one another. They started killing one another. They started selling one another for slaves. They started doing anything and everything to make sure that they survive. They started doing ogwego. They started doing so many things. But our ancestors that actually gave birth to them, which is the 8th century ago. 8th century ago. Those are the people we must continue to actually follow their footsteps. Not our 4th century ago ancestors. They have done a lot of wrong to us. They did a lot. That is as a result we are suffering today. We are suffering because of their making. When you hear about generational curse, do you think it is something that is, it is something that you need to go to the dictionary and look for, or you need to go and look for a native doctor or pastor to talk about? Generational curse will be ifendibo metal. And ifendibo metal, it is people are giving you in the name of prophecy. That is the reason why you cannot understand, you will not be able to understand the meaning of it. Because they're giving you ifendibo metal. Anybody who read history and understand the making and the wrongdoings of our ancestors, they will give you as a prophecy. Because even themselves, they don't know how to contextualize it to the problem you are facing. All of us are as a result of ifendibo metal. All of us are as a result of ifendibo metal. Be it good or bad. It is as a result of Ifendibo metal. Our situation is as a result of Ifendibo metal. 400 years ago, they sold us. They sold our people. Even 50 years ago, you saw it. It was still repeating itself. There is no way you are going to be in your predicament today if your ancestors did you good. And that is the reason why that evil that men do will always dwell with them. You see, you yourself, you are going to be another, another generation ancestor tomorrow. And if you do good, your generation will be proud of you. If you do evil, your generation will be actually mad at you. We cannot actually move away from that topic. That when somebody say our ancestors didn't do us right, they were selfish. I can tell you, our ancestors, they were selfish. It is something I say that now. When you want our ancestors, they lived their truth. They went and follow the truth of another man. The land is paying us. That is the reason why me and you, we are running helter-skelter from the land. Our ancestors live what they're supposed to do to protect their own people. They sold them for pittance. They were sold for pittance, gaining nothing from their sale to Europeans. These are the same people. They are now, they build the garden. And we are languishing in jungle as a result of what they have done to us. Our ancestors never did us good. It is during the time of our ancestors. Do you see all these people? You see, you think that these people are our people. Speaking your language. These are as a result of the makings of our ancestors. Our, maternal ancestors. Our maternal ancestors. These are the people. Mpagi puolo. Onya fulani amabata na window. Tuime. Are you going to be clapping for them? These are abomination. The secretion of the land. Apta sigi that na go monka. Imama no we ko wuru so fukiemu. Who knows about the DNA test? Why do you think that every day that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be saying Miss Blood? Do you know who caused that Miss Blood? It is as a result of Ifendibo metal. They never did us good. It is as a result of Ifendibo metal. That is the reason why somebody came from another world. They took away our constitution book. They took away our history. They took away our right. They took away everything that makes us great. They took away what keeps our relationship with Chukwu Okike Abiama. They took them away. And they were handed over to them because of the gullibility of our ancestors. Because our ancestors, they only have the knowledge to do evil. Do you think that if their ancestors of 800 years ago did the same that they have done to us, do you think they will have anything to live on that the, people, crusaders, colonizers will come for? No. It is as a result of our 800 years ago ancestors. I know Facebook will start kicking you out because we talk about colonizers. But we will continue to talk about it. If they kick you out, to bring yourself back up. Chineke si anyị ozi anyị ejezi ndị dị ndụ. Onye dị ndụ ga-anụ ozi ọma. So, as a result of that, of the achievement of our ancestors, the ancestors before 400 years ago, it is their hard work that actually attracted the colonialists to trace their way to our land, because they envy such. It is our ancestors that made you not to, because of their wrongdoing, they made you not to understand that even this person you pray to every day, you call in the name of Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. He is also part of your ancestors 800 years ago. It's also part of your ancestors. But because you get carried away, you will not understand that there is something that, that is written when Chukwu Okike Abiama was giving us commandment to rescue us from the land of Egypt. When we talk about this rescuing us from the land of Egypt, people believe it is a myth. It is not a myth. It is reality. And all this truth, you will find them even in the Bible that your pastor read for you every day. It is a reality. It is just like this. When we talk about Jesus, when you talk about Jesus, which is I'm using the name that you are familiar with, whether you call him Yahweh, or whether you call him Jesus, or whether you call him Jesus Christ, or whatever name you call him, the translation actually brings it back to the same meaning. Translation brings it back to the same meaning. Because when you call a person a leader, you come to Igbo translation, you call them Onye Ochichi, Onye Ndu. You come to English, you call them a leader. You go to another place, you call them depending on the language those people are speaking, they translate it in the way that they understand it. So whether you call him Jesus, or whether you call him Yeshua, Yahweh, whether you call him Obasetamono, whatever, okay, that means that one is God. Whatever name you call him, it is the way you actually understand the translation. That is the reason why I am going to use the name Jesus that you are familiar with. Jesus is a human being. Jesus was a human being. Let me actually put it back. Let me make it past tense, which it is. Jesus was a human being, born of flesh. The same way others were born was the same way Jesus was born. But because the parents of Jesus Christ, they were following the principle and the laws of Chukwu Okike Abiama. That is the reason why Chukwu Okike Abiama blessed them with a son. Jesus Christ is a human being just like every person who is willing to die for your freedom. Just like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is how Jesus worked. He actually preached to bring you to the knowledge of the truth. He preached to bring you to to be free from captivity. That was the activities of Jesus Christ. So now, after that, our ancestors were there. When these people came and took our Bible, when these people came and took our information, when they come and took everything, when they were bringing it back, they brought it back in a different formula, in a different teaching, embedded in different doctrine. And they accepted it. They never questioned it. Even if they questioned it, they were not resolute enough. Because anything you are going to understand, being resilient is one of the most important, factor of life. Being resolute. Consistency. You don't capitulate. So our ancestors, they accepted all these things. The story that was formulated, they accepted them. The same story, because these are our book that they don't want to read. They are not good at reading it. That is why a white man will tell you, if you want to hide something from a black person, Hide it inside a book, because they know that you had such a book. You didn't go through it. You didn't know what was written there. They took it away from you. They now came to teach you what was written there, just in a way that they will use it to exploit you. And your pastors today, they actually emulated it. Today they are using it to exploit you, to do the same thing that the white people used to do to you, because they gave birth to a neo-colonialism embedded in Christianity, embedded in religious doctrine, embedded in so many ways. That is the reason why I am telling you that our ancestors, they were wrong. And the law said that every sins of our ancestors, God will use it to punish you, ancestor. Punish your second generation. Punish your third generation. Even to the fourth generation. That is as a result of the mistake of our ancestors. We are facing the punishment. After the fourth generation, I will gather the remnant of my suppliants. And from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, I will gather them. Where they will call me God, I will call them to my people. I think it's in Zephaniah. So this is the things that you need to actually understand. These are the things you need to understand. Don't fight a battle that because of emotion. We don't fight battle out of emotion. We fight a battle irrationally. We fight a battle rationally, rather. We don't fight irrational battle, with our emotions. We make rational decisions whenever we do anything. We make a rational decision. Because it is very, very important for our people to know where they are. Eben milisibano piubogol. Eben milisibano piubogol is that most of our ancestors, they did wrong. Our ancestors, they actually did wrong. Just like you see many women today, when you see them, once they hear about money, they give up. You will propose to a woman today, and then she hear that there is another person with money happening in town. They will turn back at you immediately. Just like you see all this prank going on in media space. You will find them. These are the same people, if you marry them, keep them in the house. When there is place time like this, or when there is time of a problem, Fulani will come from the window. Fulani will actually give them what they desire. Fulani will actually give them, pregnancy. And they will give birth to Miss Blood. All these provocateurs, agent provocateurs, all over the place. They will be speaking your language. They will be acting like you. You will not know that Nifa Gomolaga Hito Gonogo. Adage. There are many adages. The adage that will actually explain to you what is happening in our land. All these things happening in our land, disobedient to the instruction, all this desecration of our land, Hope, Uzodema, and co. The killings, it is as a result of Fulani's blood in our land. 1967 to 1970, these people dealt with us through our women. These people dealt with us through, all these politicians that time. Obasanjo went in and convinced them, we will reinstate you in your position of political position only if you actually capitulate and sell out your people. We will bring you back and give you your position. You found them walking like zombies. They went there, they actually sell out. As a result, we are fighting to restore back the nation. Sorry about that. So, they will actually do all they can to make you to capitulate. They don't have what is called, long suffering. They don't actually have that, long suffering. They don't have what it takes, to be, to be resolute enough to achieve their freedom. The only thing they fight. That is the reason why they said Jesus told them, man does not live by bread alone. He was talking to the devil. But asizagi that wherever na do onye nwere nnodo, onye nwere nne na anodi na amuta. Where they are giving advice to a person who has parents, the one who does not have parents will sit around to learn about the things of life, rather. So this Jesus you call upon every day said that it is not only by bread that people survive, but because of bread, people are selling their life partners, people are selling their spouse, people are actually making sure that they do everything to they will disappoint you. They will actually sell you out because of money, paper. That is the same thing you are seeing today. They are not resolute enough. Man does not live by bread alone. Because through that bread is the reason why the enemy continue to, fight us and win. Because we believe it is all about living by bread. We believe it is all about the bread. It is not all about the bread. It is all about self-sufficient. Our people need to learn what is called self-sufficient. Because it is our problem. If you are self-sufficient person, you will not actually look at other people's, that they tell you or they say somebody will propose to you because the other one have money. You follow them. Once an law causing on a man, you call yourself guy woman. You call yourself guy man. No. At the end of the day, our ancestors, the seed they planted for us, is what we are reaping today. It is as a result of it what we are reaping today. So whatever you are doing now, bear in mind that you are causing problem for your children that is yet unborn. The ones that is born, the one yet unborn, the one they are going to have. Your great-grandchildren or your grandchildren, you are causing problem for them. So, those of you who join force with these killers, they are killing. Regardless of, I am going to bring this conversation in both ways. You join the killers in our land. You join them, they are killing our people. You join them, they are doing everything to make sure that they sell this struggle. You continue to join them. You continue to join them because you will say that you are stupid, or you will tell us that you are foolish. You continue to join the enemy to sabotage what we are doing. I can assure you, whatever you sow shall you reap. And don't forget that you are creating the situation you find yourself now for your future generation. You are actually replicating or actually making sure that this situation you find yourself continue to haunt you, even in your next and to your third and fourth generation. If you kill your own people, it will come back to haunt you. If you kill your enemy, it will not haunt you, because your enemy is your enemy. Your people is your people. That is the reason why it is only during the time of war that you have right to kill your enemy, not your people. If you turn around and say, no, this person is my friend, he is my brother, but he pissed me off, let me use the opportunity of the war to kill him. Just like the people of Obasanjo convinced and took them back to Nigeria during 1966, 67 to 1970 war. Those are the people who, face their ammunitions against those they're supposed to be fighting for. That is exactly what they did. And such evil will continue to dwell in their family. And now, you see the killings that is going on in our land. We don't condone such killing. We don't condone such killings. But the killing that is going on in our land is as a result of Ifonye Metal. As a result of what you have done, you shall reap. And that is the reap. You are reaping from what you have done in the past. Those that are the victim of those killings, you are reaping from what you have, the seed you have sowed. The same way that those that kill you shall reap from what they have sowed in no distant time. As in Igwe, there is no sin that goes unpunished. You cannot kill your own and expect not to be judged, regardless of their crime. That is the reason why, when Jesus was actually educating the people, they brought to him a woman that fornicated. They said to him, this woman have fornicated, he need to be killed as per law. As per law, he said to them, if you have never done what these people are doing, or you will stand not to do it in future, cast the first stone. Everybody now went back. Have you asked yourselves, some of you who hold guns and who sit in your comfort zone, commanding people to go and kill another person, have you ever asked yourself, if you be in the position of those people you are killing, are you not going to capitulate? Because if you kill these people that are sabotaging us, it is it is as a result of what they did that they have paid for. And are you going to do better? Were you going to do better if you found yourself in their position? Because before you judge a person, look deep into yourself. Before you judge a person, judge yourself first. Especially when you are judging your own brother. Judge yourself first. If I found myself in the position of this person, will I do the same thing this person is doing before you lay down your judgment? If you know you have never done such a thing, cast the first stone. You shall be forgiven. But as long as you know you will do worse or you will do something like that these people have done, you cast a stone to actually hurt them, that stone will return back to you. As in this person you have killed now to desecrate our land, this one that they have killed to desecrate our land, I want you to know him. Listen to the video. They didn't kill him here, but I want you to see the video. For you to get familiar to that with that video. It is not it doesn't have any bad graphics. It's just a video of before they
see this man standing.
got him slaughtered.
Carry that your face up. Hope I know you must know this man. I know you must know this man. Huh? I want you to watch the video. Watch it very, very well. Hope. The way I am killing this man, the way I will kill you very soon. You think moving around with soldiers, hiring soldiers will solve the problem? Hope, I thought you are a sensible man. I don't know that you are a foolish idiot. Hope you are a foolish idiot. Look at Boko Haram. They are only fighting for Islamic State. Hope you people are the ones sponsoring Boko Harams. You people are the one equipping them. Hope Unubakuje prison. Hope Unapoptasha Muslim. Unapoptasha Boko Haram Seji. With a uniform clothes to her.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? This is a person who got killed. If you watch the video of how they killed him, then you watch some videos of how Fulanis are slaughtering people. You will see that it is no different from what Fulani is doing in the north. That these people who claim they are one of you, speaking your language, that they are doing in your land. They slaughter people. Slaughter. Like an animal. That is this man, even though this man, if he is actually committed any whatever he has committed, before you bring this life out, before you cast the first stone, take deep down yourself. Are you qualified to judge this man? You must consider all these things. Are you qualified to judge this person? The reason why when I judge you, I will know that I am qualified to judge you. I look around myself. What this person is doing, will I consider doing it tomorrow? If I look into my if you actually, the truth you tell yourself is the best known to you. It is the best. I will say to myself, I can never dirty my hand. I can never do what this man is doing. And this man have killed our people. And if you leave him, he will continue to kill. You look into your book. You look into your past. You say, if I found myself in the position of this guy, will I do more than him or will I do what he did? Before you cast that first stone. If you see you are clean, you are clear, and this man is killing your people, if you cast that stone, you will not be judged. It means that you are law enforcer. It means that you are, you fight for those who does not have strength to fight for themselves. But if you are not worthy, you are not worthy of spilling anybody's blood. Because this is the reason why I put it this way. The adage say, he who kill by knife will surely die by knife. Who kill by gun will surely fall by gun. Because in this regard, you will find that this man have actually done such things that got him to what he is facing now. In the hands of the people like him. But who is going to make themselves available to be used? To judge another person. Because what they did to this man, they judged him. And so many of you will believe that when I am talking about to politicians that I'm judging them, I am not judging them. I am stating a fact. It is when you do something like this, it means that you have judged them. And that story of Jesus, he said, if you know you haven't done something like this, cast the first stone. And nobody did, because you are guilty. You know you are guilty. But because you want to act like you know better. Or you want to act like you are holy, you cast the first stone. At the end of the day, it is waiting for your generation. At the end of the day, it is waiting for you. Another will do you like this. Whenever you activate that spirit of, wickedness in you, just like the man you have slaughtered, if you know you cannot, you are not, your heart is not clean, you can never judge a person. You don't ever judge a person. Your heart must be clean before you do judgment. Cast the first stone. These people that are actually judging this man who killed him. You see, Hope Uzodimma. Hope Uzodimma have killed our people. Hope Uzodimma have slaughtered our people. But Hope Uzodimma, if you want to, the way we are doing what we are doing, for Hope Uzodimma to pay for his crime, Hope Uzodimma will meet evil people like him, like these ones of slaughtering people. It is called the altar rising up against another altar. That is what is going on here. An altar rising up against another altar. Killing them, making video, traumatizing children, making video, showing, knowing that, even children today, they have a WhatsApp. These things are going to be making round on social media, WhatsApp groups. Then it will come to your child. Your child will be seeing this thing. How do you want the life of that child to be in the future? Because you are exposing them to these, graphics that they are not supposed to be seeing. If you want to make such thing, make it and send it to whoever you want to send it to. If it is Hope or them, you send it to them. Stop bringing it to traumatized children. There are some adults you are traumatizing with these things you guys are doing. There are some adults that are getting traumatized. But because you are selfish, because you know nothing, that is the reason why you will be proud of killing one another. You will be proud of killing another. Regardless of your crime. Look deep into yourself. Are you worthy of judging this man before you kill him? They are worthy to die. Maybe. But are you worthy to be the one to kill them? That is something you need to always have at the back of your mind. Before you judge your own people, before you judge your own, deep down your heart, are you worthy to judge this person? Before you deal with anybody. That is the reason why it is said, love your neighbor and pray for your enemy. Love your neighbor and pray for your enemy. How? Because if you love your neighbor, it is your own people. Biafrans must love Biafrans. Those who are your enemy in Biafra land, pray for them so that they might change. But if they refuse to change, they will meet evil people like this to kill them. But you as a good man, or you that see yourself as a good man, before you judge your own people that you might that appear to be your own, make sure your heart is clear. Make sure you have never committed such crime that they have committed before you do so. That is part of the reason why our ancestors put us in a mess that we find ourselves today. Our ancestors will even judge people who, without trial, without investigation, they judge them. So before you judge anybody, make sure about your heart, your spirit. Are you worthy of judging this person? It is part of the things we need to actually know before Biafra will come. You have seen that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have a lot of work. He still have a lot of work to do. He still have a lot of teaching to do to our people. Because you can see that there is no data. There are people who don't have TV, radio. In Nigeria, in Biafra land. Those are ignorant. When they hear Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, some of them will just like him, but they don't know his preaching. They don't know his teaching. Clergymen, they hate Mazen Nnamdi Kanu the most. If you don't know, you know it now. The clergymen. Some of them are pretenders. Some of them are pretending as if, that they love him. But I can assure you, clergymen, they hate him the most. Because he speak the truth. He speak the truth to power. He speak the truth to anybody. He speak the truth to ordinary men. He speak the truth to every organization. And whoever that speaks the truth, people does not like them. That is the reason why Facebook will not like you when we speak the truth. And we will continue to speak that truth. It will never, whether they like us or not, it will never stop us from speaking the truth to power. Or speaking the truth, wherever we find ourselves. But look deep into yourself. Are you worthy of judging that person? Are you worthy of judging him? Before you judge him, before you cast the first stone. Now, I want you to understand that our ancestors never did us right. They made a lot of mistakes. Our ancestors made a lot of mistakes. Where they're supposed to be disciplined, they are not disciplined. Do you think that during the war, those people who sold out, as a result of Obasanjo's conviction, do you think that those people, they did it or they learned it that time? It is as a result of what their forefathers did or what their fathers did. It continued to follow them. Those betrayers that time, they will continue to betray until they are all gone. Fourth generation, they are flushed out. Now we are in that fourth generation. That is the reason why it is said that 2 parts of us shall be cut off. 2 paths. When we talk about we and our connection to the Israel, so many people will see it as a myth. It is not a myth. I have given you a quotation where you find your ancestors in the Bible. Genesis 46 verse 16. The 7th son of Jacob is the father of Igbo land. The 7th son of Jacob is the father of Igbo land. Is the father of Biafra land. The 7th son of Jacob is is not the father, is the ancestor, is the grandfather of Igbo land. The 7th son of Jacob, his name is Gad, Gad. And he gave birth to, I think 3 sons. Or 4, he gave birth to 3 sons. But if you read this Genesis 46, verse 16, you will understand it. Now, haven't you seen the reason why? The reason why, whenever we come, we will always use our constitution book. We bring knowledge from there. We present you knowledge from there. Because it is our own thing. We must acknowledge it. It is not given to us. It is ours. We must acknowledge it. So that we don't leave our truth to go and look for another man's truth. And we don't want the land to actually be against us. That is the reason why we must continue to preach this gospel of truth, gospel of redemption, gospel of emancipation, gospel of freedom, gospel of Elohim, Chukwu Okike Abiama, who lives in heaven. We must continue to preach it without being prejudiced, without fear or favor, without, even in the presence of our enemies. We must preach this gospel. Stand tall at it. It is the gospel no one wants to listen. It is the gospel that you will not want to listen to, because you are not familiar with it. It is something that is actually disturbing your mind because you are familiar with the false gospel in the last 400 years. So I don't blame you. But let's change that narrative. Let's change that, saying that if you put if you hide something in a book, you have hidden it from a black man. Let's change that narrative. Read that book. Even if it is, sometimes I go and read Quran. I'm not reading it because I want to start being a Muslim. I'm reading it to acquire knowledge from it, so that I will know what exactly is going on with the preaching of these Islamic people. I read it. That is it. No knowledge is wasted. You must try every knowledge. Try them. Make sure you have a glimpse of it. Make sure you have a glimpse of it. Because of it will help you in every place you find yourself. It will help you. That knowledge you will acquire. There is something I actually came across. Some video about Kwankwaso. I don't know what type of narrative they are trying to, sell to us. But let me bring that video before we proceed. Let me bring a short video before we proceed. Just one moment. It is a video of Kwankwaso where they were interviewing him. I regret I don't have the full video, but I came across this piece. Somebody sent it to me just now. So I am going to upload it to the studio and we will listen to it. Let us actually try to brainstorm around this video to find out exactly what narratives are they trying to actually push out for the sake of their political ambition. That is the only reason why I picked up this video. Just trying to upload it. Okay.
Which they allege your father set up in the northern part of Nigeria after he migrated to.
Just one moment before we actually play this video. I want to also play it because I want to listen to it as well. Okay, let me listen to it from
Your father set up in the northern part of Nigeria after he migrated to the north, and that you are an able man. You yourself, you refer to it. Identity has become a major issue in Nigerian politics. One presidential candidate has been described as a Cameroonian. The running mate that emerged, I've seen stories saying that no, the man is from Mauritania, even if his family has been in Nigeria for more than 100 years. Are you an Igbo man? Are you, in real sense, Okonkwo? Who exactly is Senator Rabi Kwankwaso?
Identity has become a major issue. A major issue in Nigeria. Identity has become a major issue in Nigeria. Let me bring this video. Excuse me. Let me bring it to be small. They are talking about Kwankwaso, whether he is an Igbo person or he is a Fulani person. They are actually, that is the the real reason for this video you see in front of you. He is being asked, are you an Igbo person or what exactly are you? Which tribe are you from? That is the question that is being thrown at him. You know what he said? He said that he does not know, that he only knows where he is now. That was his response. That was his response. He does not know. Now, the journalists say that the identity has become problem of Nigeria. That they say the other one came from Cameroon, the other presidential aspirant came from Cameroon, and they said that Kwankwaso is an Igbo person, and then they ask him, where do you come from, Kwankwaso? He said he is from... Let us actually listen to it so that we will know what we are talking about. Let's listen to it.
Ruben, if you say I'm a Cameroonian, I will say no. If you say I'm Eritrean, I say no. If you say from Niger, say no. But if you say I'm Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa or whatever, thank you very much.
Okay, no, where exactly are you from? I think your followers would like to know.
I am from Kano.
From Kano. If you say I am Niger, I say no. If you say I am Cameroon, I say no. If you say I am Igbo, I will say thank you. Then he asked him, where exactly are you from? He said he is from Kano. He is from Kano. Now, he asked him how, okay, let's actually finish the video. He is from Kano. That is where I stopped. I don't know if you heard the next thing he said, but he said he is from Kano. And if you check, his explanation, I could come in with a conspiracy theory here, which I will say, is he trying to, use this identity manipulation to buy his way to be voted for? This is a question, general question. I have not started with my conspiracy theory, but I am just bringing it as a question. And I want to also see your mind there, your suggestion there, or what your understanding towards this. In that comment section, I am seeing the ones watching at Judge Money blog, the main page. I am also, I think I am seeing the ones watching from YouTube as well. What exactly is this man heading at? Why is he saying that he is? If you call him an Igbo man, he will say thank you. If you call him Yoruba man, he will say thank you. Why do you think that this conversation come up? Did this conversation come up because they want to buy your vote? Emotional, identification. They want to use your emotions. Is it the reason why this conversation came up at this point in time? That this Kwankwaso now, he is not less than 40 years old. It is only this time that he come to discuss his identity, or people start asking, where is he coming from? And I believe Kwankwaso is Atiku running mate, right? Yes. He is Atiku running mate, the one who they used to sideline the Nobel Adolf Hitler in River State. The Adolf Hitler in River State. The one they used to sideline him. And if you see activities of Wike, you will know that he act like Nobel Adolf Hitler in River State. There are two things that made Adolf Hitler. His purpose and his sins. So the same thing, that the reason why you find Wike, his purpose and his sins. His sins is massacring our people in Obibo, thinking that Fulani will give him Igbo presidency. Now his purpose, trying to make up. Because he has understood that Fulani can never do anything for you. They will only make you promise and they will fail you. They will just use your mind and use you to do all sorts of things, just like they have used Dave Omai. Just like they have are using Hope Uzodinma today and co. That is how they will use you. Today, they form G8 governors who are rebelling against their party, PDP. Who are rebelling. And this PDP party is the best candidate that Fulani have chosen. If you don't know it, you know it now. They are the favorite of the Fulani. But they are not making it public. They're still using Obi. And today they tell you that Sudan of Sokoto made a statement that if Obi fail, you hold him responsible. Tomorrow he will come out and say it was not his statement. All these things are manipulations, but you need to have a discerning spirit that can enable you to understand. If you cannot build a discerning spirit that will enable you to understand, it is going to be a big problem. So, now we are trying to bring your mind to it. Let us listen to this thing one more time. I want us to listen to it one more time, so that we will know when these people are playing with our
since 100 years, 200 years,
when they are actually doing
or in the
what
last 60 years
is needful. Politicians.
Many years. I didn't count.
They will use anything for political.
Okay, let's leave it.
Advance.
Once you are born inside Nigeria, it's assumed that you are a Nigerian and you are entitled to every right inside Nigeria. But let me ask you about the economy, which is also a major issue, which they allege your father set up in the northern part of Nigeria after he migrated to the north, and that, you are an able man. You yourself, you refer to it. Identity has become a major issue in Nigerian politics. One presidential candidate has been described as a Cameroonian. The running mates that emerged, I've seen stories saying that no, the man is from Mauritania, even if his family has been in Nigeria for more than 100 years. Are you an Igbo man? Are you, in real sense, Okonkwo? Who exactly is Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso?
Ruben, if you say I'm a Cameroonian, I will say no. If you say I'm Eritrean, I say no. If you say from Niger, so no. But if you say I'm Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa or whatever, thank you very much.
Okay, no, where exactly are you from? I think your followers would like to know.
I am from Kano.
Since 100 years, 200 years, or in the last 60 years?
Many years. I didn't count.
He is from Kano.
Okay, let's leave it. Maybe, once you are born inside Nigeria, it's assumed that you are a Nigerian and you are entitled to every right inside Nigeria. But let me ask you about the economy, which is also a major issue.
Many years.
Which they allege your father set up.
Many years. I didn't count. He asked him, are you an Igbo man? Since when did you, when did you move to Kano or found yourself in Kano? Many years I didn't count. This is actually, let me bring it to this explanation. He want to keep your mind in, state of confusion. He want to actually put you in a state of imagination. For you to say, maybe this man is Igbo man, or his name is Kwankwaso, and it sound Igbo, of course. But if he has not declared himself to be an Igbo man all this while, only when he come out to be a governor, presidential vice, that's the only time he realized, no, I might be from Igbo land. Let us start having this conversation now. This is how they will always place your mind in the state of imagination, so that you will be emotional, you will be carried away, thinking that this person is indeed Igbo man. Maybe there is something you will get out of him, or maybe when these things they are planning to give the power to them, you will say, after all, Kwankwaso have Igbo blood. It is no problem. Kwankwaso have Igbo blood. Oh, this is the way they will always find, they will always try to place you in a state of imagination. You become so confused, you become so emotional that you may end up dancing to the tone and playing the game that they are actually dancing the dance that they're actually playing for you, or the music they're playing for you. It is not whatever they are doing here. They are very, very deliberate about it. Very, very deliberate about it. Don't forget the relationship between a Fulani man and the relationship between the indigenous people of Nigeria. The relationship between a Fulani man or Hausa man, I don't know, and the relationship between Biafrans. It is something I can call it a symbiotic relationship. There is something called symbiotic relationship. That word is derived from symbiosis. Symbiosis is a teaching in a biology where you talk about something that feed, or when you talk about symbiotic or symbiosis, you will actually push yourself towards a parasitism or parasite. This is a relationship between two people, or you call it, let's put it as a relationship between two people. One person is benefiting from from this relationship. The other person is getting hurt. And the one benefiting from the relationship does not care about those people getting hurt. That is the symbiotic relationship that we have with Hausa Fulani. And that is this symbiotic relationship was created in 1914 during the time of amalgamation. During the time of amalgamation, that was when such relationships were created. So in everything that they bring during the time of politics, they are not bringing it to actually, favor you. They are bringing it to actually make you to look stupid, to appear stupid. They use it to manipulate you. Then you'll be gullible. Then you will go and actually support these people. There is something Professor Lumumba said when he was addressing Nigeria, when he was addressing Fulani. In this, there was a broadcast I made a few days ago. He said that you can see a leaders during the time of election campaign. They will tell you that they will change the fate of Nigeria within 2 weeks. What they are trying to say is that it is impossible for them to change the fate of Nigeria. Because whatever they use to campaign, it is opposite that they are going to do. That is the real meaning of what he said. That whenever they come to campaign, they will tell you, they will give you a steady electricity. That you should know that it is impossible for this person to give you a steady electricity. That was what he said. If you don't understand it, I understood it. And they will always use the same thing to sell to you, the same thing to actually manipulate you at all time. Whenever they come online to lie to you, they will tell you they will give you that, they will give you this, they will give you heaven on earth, they will bring God closer to you. You will knowing that these things they are saying, the time frame that they have actually presented to you, it is impossible. Why do you not have a steady electricity? Because do you know that? You don't have electricity in Nigeria because, for number one, the colonialists, they did not actually do what they're supposed to do if they were, good people. When they were actually leaving you or giving you independence, there are some infrastructures that they have implemented, they have built. Such infrastructures, they did not allow you to get familiar with it. They did not introduce you to such infrastructure. They did not tell you the lifespan of such infrastructure. Because they know that they have implemented such thing. They know that when they go back, it is part of their neo-colonial agenda. They will use such infrastructure to milk you. Now the infrastructure will decay, because your leaders in Africa, they do not look for where they are going to. In fact, they don't look towards buying petrol for their cars until they get stuck. Do you know what it means? Your car is now giving you a yellow light, and the petrol is on reserve, which is nearly finished. Your leaders will continue to watch that yellow light until they get stuck along the road. That's the only time they will look for petrol. Instead of trying to be proactive, buying petrol before they get stuck. That is the reason why they will leave those infrastructure until it decay, until it starts going off, until it starts malfunctioning. They will now look for a way to, they will now start using it as a politics. They know by the time that time frame that these people who built that such infrastructure, by the time the lifespan has elapsed, they must have actually built another infrastructure, which is called, bringing a new infrastructure, calling it, the revolution, industrial revolution. They will bring something like generator, because they know that the one that is supplying you electricity is going to fail you, definitely, because the lifespan has ended, and your leaders, they are using it as a political problem. When you vote out a person there, he will tell you, no, I will not use the money I will have to steal to fix electricity. I will have to leave it for Yoruba person. If you go vote Yoruba person, he will say, no, how can I fix these things and the whole Nigeria will enjoy. I will leave it to Fulani man. A Fulani man will say, how can I build this thing for an infidel? Let me embezzle the money and use it and develop my people. They will leave it there. That is how they will continue to leave it. Of course, Igbo man have not gone there. That's why I did not include them. If they had been there, I was going to include them, because I am very, I don't do pasha. So that is the reason why you will continue to see those problems. Problem of good schools. Because when we talk about infrastructure, we have captured everything in one basket. Now, when we want to break it down, we talk about school infrastructure you don't have in Nigeria, because of multiculturalism. You people, this person will say, how can I do it? Then this person will benefit. Now they will take that money and embezzle it, put it in their offshore, start up a personal business that is going to actually help them and their family to thrive. After that, the next thing they are going to do, they will leave that problem. And because of self-hate, they know that school infrastructure, your children supposed to school there. But because they know, no, we will send them abroad. But during the time of lockdown, when there is no travel, that is when you will understand the self-hate that you have placed yourself into. Because if you have fixed your infrastructure, no one will bring a travel ban on you for you to go and finish your studies. Such thing, as an example, when you build a good road infrastructure, then when your children finish schooling in that abroad and come back, they will still use that same road. Pothole can actually puncture their tire or blow up their tire and their car will roll. As a result, they might die. That is as a result of self-hate. If you love yourself, you don't need to think about who is going to use this road. You will fix the road because you yourself are going to use it. You are going to use it. But because of your selfishness that stings in a capital letter, you will decide, no, how can I fix this road? After all, my children in abroad. After all, I fly helicopter. I fly private jet. Enugu to Anambra. Lagos to Badagry. It is private jet. How can I fix this road for these people? The road that I am not using every day. Or the road, how can I fix it when the previous administration did not fix it? Because none of them has the political will to do anything. They have no political will. And there is no political consequences that these people that they face in that regard. The problem is that when Buhari finish embezzle the money now, as an imposter they are, the presidency, group of cabals in Aso Rock, they are done embezzling the whole money belonging to you and I and every other person. The thing they will do is that they will go their way. They tell you, no, really go queer. And it is true. Now Nigeria can there is no political consequences in what they are doing. Nobody is held to account. They will do it. If you talk, they will kill you. Or they will jail you and throw away the key. Just like they are doing to our leader. It will never stop us from talking. The only thing you will do, you kill the flesh. You will never kill the spirit. That is the highest thing you will do. Not you that is pulling that trigger. Have you checked your life and see the condition or situation of your surroundings before you kill somebody that is trying to, make you free? Before you actually imprison somebody that is trying to make you free, because you call yourself a law enforcer, or you call yourself a person who wield gun to kill people. These are the things you need to do. Because when you kill somebody, it is out of self-hate. You hate yourself. Someone that is, preaching for the benefit of you. Such like, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So many of you have actually, attacked him. You have actually tried to kill him. You put him in the bondage of solitary confinement today. Trying to kill his spirit when he is preaching for the benefit of everybody. Not only for the benefit of his children or family. That is the reason why we are reminding his family members, it is not about family. It is about, the total liberation of the indigenous people. It is not a family business. That is the reason why we continue to say this. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not for the family only now. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is of everybody. The same way that Christ was of the Israelites. That is the same thing that is happening today. Christ was of the Israelites. That is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is to save the indigenous people from this predicament, the suffering, the politics that they are using, they are actually using to kill you, to impoverish you, to make you to be in you will be under pressure. Every time you find these people, they are under pressure. Each and every time they are under pressure as a result of politics. Now this man is the man who came to tell you. They are now discussing whether this man is Igbo man or whether this man is a Fulani man or Hausa man. Which this thing they are discussing right now, they're supposed to have discussed it long time ago. If you look at this man, you might find out that this man might be part of the people who fought the Igbo people during the time of 1967-70 war. But today he is coming to tell you they are coming to tell you maybe he is Igbo. Maybe he is Igbo. Who did this to us? Because the way they are using your mind to, they use your brain as a political play. Because you don't know the same thing that they have used, planted evil seed called agent provocateur around you, and they are hunting you, using your brain, confusing and manipulating you, setting up an agenda for you. You are championing it. But remember, there is nothing like had I know no Gibazu. Because no sins goes unpunished. Had I know will always come last. And when that had I know comes, it is already late. You have committed yourself. And you have committed yourself in such places that you will not be able to redeem yourself. Because everybody that suffers as a result of your ignorance and your stupidity, you will pay for that. You will pay. Don't forget, before you cast that stone, search yourself. Have you ever done such thing? Are you capable of doing such thing before you cast the first stone? And those that are being deceived by these words, let me play it one more time.
In the northern part of Nigeria, after he migrated to the north, and that you are an able man, you yourself you refer to it. Identity has become a major issue in Nigerian politics. One presidential candidate has been described as a Cameroonian. The running mate that emerged, I've seen stories saying that no, the man is from Mauritania, even if his family has been in Nigeria for more than 100 years. Are you an Igbo man? Are you in real sense Okonkwo? Who exactly are set up in the northern part of Nigeria after he migrated to the north, and that you are an Igbo man? You yourself you refer to it. Identity has become a major issue in Nigerian politics. One presidential candidate has been described as a Cameroonian. The running mate that emerged, I've seen stories saying that no, the man is from Mauritania, even if his family has been in Nigeria for more than.
When it is done playing, I am going to actually read your comments to see what you think about him and what exactly is this they are doing. I am going to read the comment to see.
100 years. Are you an Igbo man? Are you in real sense Okonkwo? Who exactly is Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso? In the northern part of Nigeria,
Ruben, if you say I'm a Cameroonian, I will say no. If you say I'm Eritrean, I say no. If you say from Niger, say no. But if you say I'm Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa or whatever, thank you very much.
Okay, no, where exactly are you from? I think your followers would like to know.
I am from Kano.
Yeah. Since 100 years, 200 years, or in the last 60 years?
Many years. I didn't count.
Okay, let's leave it. Maybe, once you are born inside Nigeria, it's assumed that you are a Nigerian and you are entitled to every right inside Nigeria. But let me ask you about the economy, which is also a major issue, which they allege your father set up in the northern part of Nigeria after he migrated to the north, and that, you are an able man. You yourself, you refer to it. Identity has become a major issue in Nigerian politics. One presidential candidate has been described as a Cameroonian. The running mate that emerged, I've seen stories saying that no, the man is from Mauritania, even if his family has been in Nigeria for more than 100 years. Are you an Igbo man? Are you, in real sense, Okonkwo?
I am from Kano since how many years? I didn't count. So now let me get to it and now find out exactly, let me see your comments from that. Let me check on YouTube. Okay, I am coming to Bartholowen Okudere. The comment in the YouTube, it is, I like that argument. I am coming back to you, Bartolome. I like that argument you had on YouTube. Okezie onye muwa. Okezie onye muwa say no, he is on his own. Of course, he is on his own. He is on his own. I believe my time is up. My time is almost up. Oh, it's not yet. Not yet. So, Okezie Onyemowa, he is on his own. And Anavo Biafra, you are doing a good job in that comment section. These people are playing with some fool's brain here. Exactly. That is exactly what they are doing. They are playing with some fool's brain, believing that this generation is stupid. And who is this fool? Please vote for this fool. If you type rubbish about your stupid election, Nigeria election that has never benefited anybody. We are not doing election or campaign here. We are doing freedom fighting. Those, if you type rubbish here again about the election or campaign for anybody in that comment section, I will block you out of this place. In a vote, we're gonna P2B. There is nobody worthy of being voted for in Nigeria. Nobody. Vote for yourself. Why don't you go and vote for yourself there? All of them, they are the same. No, none of them is different. As long as they are politicians. None of them is different. So, according to the comment I get here, they are on their own. I am only reading from one place. Now let's go to YouTube. There is some argument that Batolo Okudere said, our forefathers didn't accept the book. They were invaded by the Europeans and they enforced the book on them. Now, let me agree with your own philosopher that my own philosophy will be agreed with. I like what you said here. You said that they did not accept the book. But there is my argument here. Even if they did not accept the book, what contingency plan did they put in place to make sure that they stand in that thing that they did not accept? Because if you say they did not accept the book, and even if you say they did not accept the book, yes, how come that the majority of your people today are championing, at which book actually are you talking about that they did not accept? If you talk about them not accepting the book, is it Bible? They did not accept the book. They were invaded by Europeans and they enforced the book on them. Now, listen up. Our ancestors does not need to accept the book because they own the book. They own the book. It is their book. It is their ancestral direction, guideline, history, law, constitution. So, they don't need to accept it. It is their own book. The only thing that happened is that when they took that book and came back with it and start actually using the same book to manipulate our people, why did they capitulate? Why did they accept it? And now, after accepting it, the teaching, because if they never accepted it, you will not see any pastor today going contrary to what the book says, in the name of using the book to preach, while using the book to exploit our people. None of them has ever teach or taught you what is written in the book. If they never accepted the book, how come we accepted it? If they never, in your own context or in your own, understanding or whatever you are trying to explain, if they never accepted those doctrine, maybe I will put it correctly for you if you are still here. If they accepted the doctrine, if they have accepted the doctrine, that means they have accepted whatever you are claiming that they refuse to accept. They accepted the doctrine, the new doctrine of that book, the new teaching. If not, it will never work for us in this generation. What they accepted is what we accepted. Do you know how, this thing they call colonialism? Were you part of those who were colonized during the time of colonialism? You were not even there. Some of us, we didn't experience colonialism, but the mind destruction, we didn't experience it. But why is it still working against us today? It is working against you today, against me today, because our ancestors were destroyed by it. So they use that same doctrine. The way they were destroyed, their mind is already captured. They use the doctrine and the teaching and the philosophy of a captured mind to capture our own mind. I don't know if you are getting the point. They use the doctrine that this colonialism has put in them. They use it to capture our own mind. We use it to capture our children's mind. We continue until we begin to preach this gospel. We will continue to use it to capture our next generation. It is not directly, people from Europe did not come to start doing these things to us. They did it to our forefathers. Our forefathers did it to us. We're doing it to ourselves. We do it to our children. So we need to curtail it. We need to cut it off. But we can only achieve it by preaching this gospel. Bringing your mind to it. That is the reason why anybody who is telling you that history is not important in this freedom fighting, that person is a criminal. He does not know what he is doing. Anybody who tell you that you finding a way, finding and understanding what destroyed you, what made you a captured person today, it means that that person that is actually preaching that to you is not sincere. They are insincere. So that is the reason why I am here. To tell you that those things our ancestors did, they were selfish. They were selfish because they know the real story of Jesus Christ. They know the real story of David. They know the real story of Solomon. They know the real story of all these, great men of their ancestors. They know their real story. They know how they lived. They know how they resisted. David fought many wars. What war was David fighting? David was fighting the enemy, the colonizers, the invaders. David fought all of them. But when he saw what his new generation are going to face, he cried and said they have gathered in one consent to make sure that the name of Israelites does not exist anymore. We will make sure we destroy them and make them not to be a nation anymore. He cried. He cried. He foresaw what is to befall us. He cried. Let us, make sure that they do not exist as a nation anymore. Very many doctrines has been, put into this context, which makes you not to understand it is you that they want to make you not to have a nation anymore. Very simple. That is the reason why apụta sị gị na ife ị na-achọ n'ukenu ịmara na ọ dị n'ukan. These are the stories of our lives. We must embrace them. We must know ebe mmiri si baa n'opi ụgbọgụrụ. All the very important. If we cannot do that, we cannot achieve anything in this journey that we have embarked upon. And we must actually know that it is not by our power. It is by the teaching. We cannot do it by our power. Nobody will just wake up to change. That's why iron must sharpen iron. Iron must sharpen other iron. It is as a result of our ancestors' mistakes. That is the reason why you see these people who call themselves native doctor. They come to advertise themselves in the social media. They come to advertise themselves on social media. The most important thing is that, and while they are advertising themselves, they are putting our children in high jump, making our children to look for highways, such as you see so many children going to look for. Tomorrow you will tell the children of these native doctors, they will find out that these things their father did in this era is the thing that is haunting them, because they have twisted the mind of every children. You can only make it through living your future now. You can only make it through Igwo. You can only make it through this. They will position their mind there. Then when they begin to realize what they are doing, they will now realize this is what my father did. You will think it is the right thing. Aluba for Bulu Menana. This thing these native doctors are doing in our land. Aluba for Obulo Menana. You can no longer look for a means of making your own money. It is true that you don't find a weapon. Our ancestors. There is one of them that I am actually that I actually follow, and I listen to their teaching, even though sometimes they will contradict themselves, because there is a place that person said, no just Satan kanwa nifa na achuru ya waja, nifa na achuru ya waja. So in that regard, you will understand that in our own ancestral origin, fana achuaja, they do sacrifice. There is animal sacrifice, there is other sacrifice, they do sacrifice, they do salaka, they do all sort of sacrifice to make sure that their way is paved, to make sure that their, anything that will bring bad luck, take this thing and eat it, and the Boma Canaro, that is something like that. How they have actually, brought up the teaching in this era. But they do sacrifice. What is that sacrifice? What is that sacrifice called? Tithe and offering. Tithe and offering. We call it sacrifice. But, God who make us to understand the sacrifice, He called it tithe and offering. Sacrifice. There is a sacrifice you will do so that you will cleanse the land. When the time of animal sacrifice was still happening. Sacrifice you do to cleanse the land. Now, there is something they called feast. And in that feast, what do you call it? Is it feast offering? I don't know if I am, grammatic correct. Fixed offering. Which during this time of feast is when you bring your your tithes. That time you have harvested the things that you have made from your farmland. Every year, you bring the best of it. You actually will present it to God, pray to it, and you now use that thing, cook it, and eat it. Eat it with the people that they do not have. Eat it with them. That is called tithe. You eat it with those who does not have. It's sacrifice. You call even the traditional healers, native doctors that are there, that does not have a land where they will farm, because they are called, during that time they were called the Levites. The Levites. Ndị si nchụaja. Ndị a na-akpụ alụ n'ala Igbo mgbe a ma akpụ ezigbo alụ na-abụrụ alụ nke a na-akpụzi a na-adọrọ mma bụ ụlọ ndị nze a na-atapụ anụ. That is the reason why Jesus Christ came and abolished that thing. The same way that people are using Bible to manipulate you in the name of Nane, they are preaching heaven for you. That is when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu come and teach you. He is teaching you that these things they are doing is not the right way. It is a form of abolishing it. They could do better, but they are not doing better. When he preach against it, because you know he is doing the right thing, you desist from it. It is abolished. That's why he said that that is how it is. It is automatic. You abolish it. Because unafe welugo Bible ma anadrom mulu ndinse. Anadrom mulu ndinse. They preach to you. You will be blessed in the evening, in the morning. And they will tell you, bring your tithe and offering. And they have robbed God. Because they steal from you. In the name of tithe and offering. It is given every year after year. You bring it before God. You eat it, that tithe, osoroginya father, osoroginya pastor. Eat it in front of him. Call those who does not have. Eat with them. Dine with them. Make them feel special. Then all those pastor, they were called the Levite nation. During the time of our ancestors, the Levites, they don't have inheritance with they. Because these are people on our chief priest. If I have chief priest na Igbo, he is a sacrifice to the gods. All he does is the work of the gods. That is the same people you will call closer and eat this tithe and offering with. Because God will say, don't forget the Levite within thy gates. That's how tithe and offering is paid. If you believe I'm lying, go to Deuteronomy 14. Deuteronomy 14. Read it from verse 21 or 22. Then read it down and see if I am lying. That day is the day that God will give you permission to that is what our people are doing during the time of New Yam Festival. Because New Yam Festival is the only crop, king of the crops in our land. They celebrate it. That is the reason why nobody is excluded. Wherever you come from, you join them to eat the jofo. It is our culture. It is our culture. It is in Bible, biblical. That is the tithe and offering. The first lane of thy seed that your field produces year after year, or month after month, because it is something you will eat. If to carry it to go to the place where you are going to eat it before the Lord thy God is far, sell it. Use the money. When you arrive there, use that money. Buy anything you want. Buy anything you want. Be it in kwacha, be it in kwenu, be it ewu malababa. You buy it, you cook it, you present it, you eat it before the Lord thy God. Also, not pastor. So why are you enriching other people while you are impoverishing yourself? And as a result of what these people are doing, you are rejecting your own knowledge, your own book of knowledge, history, and constitution. This is the reason why we say our ancestors, they were not resolute enough. They were not resolute enough to fight and stand in their truth. Farapule eziokwu nafa, wejechoba eziokwu onye ozo, which is in Kendocha. Don't tell me that they were imposed. They imposed it on them. No matter how much you are they impose something on you. Do you know how they impose it on them? It is through teaching. It is through teaching like this. They were not forced to it. Believe you me. Our ancestors were not imposed on believing in a white Jesus or believing in Alusindocha, in a white man idol. No, they were not forced. It was motivational speech. These missionaries, they were tricky. They brainwash you. You start worshiping. They tell you that you see how we are now. They bring you things that you don't have. Even though you can make it. Even though you can discover it. They use it to manipulate you. Oko ochicho. Oko ochicho. You live your father's truth and your father's way of life. You go and embrace other people's way of life. Today, people are against traditional, culture. People are against culture because some of them are overeducated. And when you are overeducated, you will be against your culture for real. Because they will take your mind out of your culture. You will start seeing your culture as evil. But this culture is what kept your great and great. Solomon have the best kingdom on earth through this culture. Through this culture. They told you this culture is your problem. Or because this culture is painful. Or they tell you that you have to sacrifice. If it is your culture, embrace it. Whether it is painful or not, embrace it. because they take you away from your own and bring their own and impose it on you. Systematically, they didn't beat you up to impose it on you. Then your parents will force you into it. It is actually your parents who imposed it on you. Because every day, Bible church. Every day, in the name of Jesus. Bible church. Forcing you into it. Leaving their own, their ancestral originals behind. If you don't do it, they flog you. Your ancestors flog you. White people did not flog them, teaching them that Bible upside down. They didn't flog them. They manipulated them into it. They lied to them into it. But they flogged us into it. True or false? The truth. They colonized us. Our parents colonized us. Their parents was colonized by the white man. And them, their parents colonized them. They colonize us. We colonize our children by bringing them to the doctrine and traditions of man. Do you know, after pre-colonialism, you have a steady electricity in Nigeria? Do you know that? There is nothing like blackout in Nigeria. Pre-colonialism. Do you know that amid colonialism, you have a steady electricity in Nigeria? Amid colonialism, you have a steady electricity in Nigeria. Post-colonialism, you had a steady electricity in Nigeria for some times until power tussle, power shift, and infrastructure decayed. Nobody want to fix it. You had it. Now, what happened? Because nobody is willing. They want to make you to believe that you can never help yourself. And for true, you can never help yourself. By bringing multiculturalism. Because if not multiculturalism that you are facing in Nigeria, if you are a Biafra in Biafra land, you know if you go into that power, whatever you are doing for Biafra land. You are not doing it for Fulani or Niger Republic. You are doing it for Biafra land. If you are Oduduwa, you ascend that throne or that power position. You will do everything you have to do, knowing that you are doing it for my people, Oduduwa people. You are not doing it for Fulani or Hausa people or Moibo. You are not doing it for Moibo. That is how it is. Multiculturalism is our problem. We continue to be our problem until we desist from it. Until we actually, make away with it. Multiculturalism is our demise. Because in this multiculturalism, that is the reason why we have a symbiotic relationship with your colonial master, with the Fulani, among others. Symbiotic relationship. For those of you who did biology, it is derived from symbiosis. There are some plants that are, parasites. Parasites that feed on others while hurting those people, benefiting from them. You have a relationship with something. You are hurting that thing, but you are benefiting from it. They are benefiting nothing from you. That's the relationship we share with our colonialists. That is the relationship we share with Fulani as indigenous people of Nigeria. You need to, wake up. Actually, call your brain in order so that you will not be a victim of all this rubbish that, you are suffering. Your ancestors, in my conclusion or in my submission, our ancestors never did us right. The same way some of you are creating a very, very dangerous, future for your future generations. They will still complain the way I am complaining. They never did us right. And the earlier you know, the better you begin to actually decolonize yourself from their doctrine, their whatever they have instilled in you. Remove it from your mind. Go back, research and find out who are your ancestors. Before 400 years, research where did they come from. Before 400 years, research where will you find your original history that is before 400 years ago. What is your good norms and value system before 400 years ago? Because after 400 years ago, everything you see is a myth. Is a myth. These are the things they introduce you to that destroy you. Because they have come to realization that if you leave your own and look for their own, that the land will pay you. You will suffer the consequences. That is the only thing. And that is what gives birth to people like Hope Uzodinma, the devil. And they are using him as a willing tool to kill you in broad daylight. They are using him as a willing tool to kill you in broad daylight. And they will never stop. Because you yourself, you have not changed. Your mind, you have not make peace and say to yourself, this is my truth. I must and I shall embrace it. It is my truth. I shall embrace it. You have never made peace. You have never come to terms with it. Because each time, whenever you come to terms with it, I believe that you are going to do better. You are going to do better. Never hurt your fellow Biafran. Never judge somebody doing sin, committing a crime that you know if you have opportunity you will commit. Never judge that person. The judgment we talk about is killing that person. The reason why the agent provocateur are doing such, it is because they are paid agents to continue to desecrate our land. They are paid agents to an altar rising against the altar. That is what you are seeing at the last days. That is the reason why, for you to understand that this is the last days. So many of you believe that when we talk about last day, it is the last day of this, and it is the time of awakening. You need to realize what happened to you. The earlier you realize it, the easier it gets for you. It is the last days. That is the reason why you see my preaching. I am preaching maybe similar to your pastor, or maybe my preaching is like your pastor, but it is against your pastor. At the last days, knowledge shall increase. Knowledge shall increase. That knowledge has increased, and that knowledge is what we are sharing with you, because it is that knowledge that will give us freedom. It is through that knowledge that we will realize that we must love ourselves, we must love our people, we must protect our people, we must do something that is good for our people, we must put our people first before any other place. United you stand, divided you fall. That is the reason why they have to create a faction, because they know they use this faction to divide you. For you, once you walk away from discipline, once you walk away from the oath that you have taken, you will now compromise. You will do anything until you arrive to your dead end. Narrow is the way. Narrow is the way. Those consecrating our land, narrow is the way. What goes around comes around. It is not easy doing what we are doing. The evil people in our land, like Hope Uzodinma, they will meet their fellow evil. Does not mean that those evil that they are going to meet, they are not going to pass through judgment the same way Hope is going to pass through judgment. There is something I want you to understand there. No sin goes unpunished. Law of nature. God is nature. God is nature. He sends us message through nature. He sends us healing through nature. He sends us, direction through nature. But we neglect this nature. We neglect it, we undermine it. We don't know that God is nature. That is the reason why everything comes when you understand the nature. You will reap the fruits that the nature produces. When you see what will make the nature fertile, you reap the fruit that the nature will produce. You reap the good oxygen that the nature will produce. If you cut the whole trees around you, you will have a humid atmosphere, a dry atmosphere. Your oxygen will not come as fresh as it's supposed to be. Because that nature was there. It's there for that nature to produce good oxygen for you. It is part of God. That is the reason why they will tell you that you go and cut it off. You have cut the nature that gives you oxygen. They tell you that it is that big tree that is in a village square. That is the thing that is blocking the talent or the akalaka on a family or na the village. You go and cut it off. You have cut down a nature. A nature that creates a good oxygen for you. If you could wear chow wamma, if you could wear watelo wando. Why is desert? Why is it not raining in desert? Because there is nothing like, nature that produces oxygen or carbon dioxide. It is not found there. You only find earth there. You find earth in the desert. So before now, the Dubai will convert desert into a kingdom. They have to start planting nature. They have to bring nature into it. They have to bring water. They have to bring different types of soil. They have to bring different types of nature in order to make that place a place that a human being can be able to live and get best of it. God is nature. When you make peace with nature, then you will understand God. Because nature is life and God is life. I am going to leave it here. I want you to share this video. If you are watching on YouTube, click the like button. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel so that whenever we come online, you will be notified. If you are watching on Judge Money Blog, share the video. If you are watching on Judge Money Blog Official, share the video. If you are watching on Twitter, share the video as well. Retweet the video and alert others to take part in the knowledge that we have shared. If you are watching in any IPOB platforms, share the video, follow the page. Until we meet again, stay safe and stay informed. Don't forget, the suppression of Facebook, the suppression of YouTube, it will never stop us. We will continue and we will make sure that we will win, because we are not born for failure. We are born to win, and we will win. And I want Biafrans to understand that whatever you are seeing today, it is as a result of the process that we have to pass through. Because through this process, they pass through to get us to where we are today. So we have to pass through this process before we get to where we are going. That is the reason why you need to be consistent. That is the reason why you need to be resolute. That is the reason why that you need to, whenever you feel like you don't understand it anymore, you go back to the broadcast of our leader. Let me look for that broadcast. When you think you don't understand it anymore, that when you see that they are too much, when you see that the trial is too much, the blackmail is too much, the killing is too much, you must go back to that broadcast to understand exactly the reason for that.
You don't dare come out.
When you think things are too much,
can you say it?
You go back.
Can you hear who we are?
To things
when
like
I
this.
hear all these fools in Abuja and in Lagos, all these riffraffs talking rubbish, I feel sorry for them. That is why we are harsh with any idiot that calls himself an elder who doesn't know history.
Not this. Let me listen to this
when
one.
I hear all these fools in Abuja and in Lagos, all these riffraffs talking rubbish.
No, not this one.
I feel sorry for them. That is why we are harsh with any idiot that calls himself an elder who doesn't know history.
Okay.
Not this. Let me.
But there is something you must pick up this from here. Who doesn't know history?
No, not this one.
Now he is telling you that history is very important. Yes.
Okay. Not this.
Who doesn't know history?
Something you must pick up this from here. Who doesn't know history? Now he is telling you that history is very important.
Who doesn't know history?
Yes. Okay.
History is very, 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 very important. I know that it is repeating. Let me look for the one that I want to use to actually bring your mind to it. Each and every time you see all these tribulations, all this trial, all that, you should understand that it is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that he said this first.
Yes, I understand what you're saying and the fact that everybody is angry, and we must make this very clear. Nobody is agitating. We are peaceful, loving people. We don't like violence. We are Igbo people. We are Biafrans. We are peace-loving people. And as I said before, so that people can understand, I am against any form of bloodshed on our land. It is against our land.
We are also.
Exactly.
We are also.
So it's inshallah. What we want this man to do, what we want him to do, is to go away from our land. Leave the Biafran struggle alone for Biafrans to go and get Biafra. That's all we are saying. We don't want anybody to be killed. The reason why we are talking about this is because people were killed. We don't want anybody killed on our land anymore. We are tired of the bloodshed. We have lost 3.5 million people and counting. We don't want anybody anymore to be killed. We don't want it. We don't need death on our hands. I have said it before and I will repeat what I said.
So
if we engage in killing, Biafra will not come. That is one cardinal thing you don't do in Biafra. Go and ask anybody. Anytime you shed an Igbo blood, you kill a fellow Biafran, anything you're looking for will not come. Go and ask all of them. Starting from the death of Mbono Ojike. People don't know how Mbono Ojike died. The man responsible for the death of Mbono Ojike, where is he? Everything he asked for, he got nothing from
a
Nigeria.
British national and political activist who was traveling on a British passport when he was kidnapped and tortured in Kenya for 8 days by Kenyan and Nigerian government-sponsored criminals. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned to Nigeria on a government-chartered flight without extradition process. Nigerian government continues to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu captive under severe torture, treating him worse than a condemned criminal. In spite of all the protests around the world condemning extraordinary rendition of this great eloquent political activist and demanding for his release, Boris Johnson's British government continues to do nothing and says nothing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a British citizen and who is being tortured to death by the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled government of Nigeria. The questions now are, what does Boris Johnson's British government know about the planned kidnapping, torture, and rendition of this British citizen in
but there is one thing I want all of us
controlled Nigerian government? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is neither a criminal nor a wanted person in the civilized world. Why is Boris Johnson's British government romanticizing with this Islamist fundamentalist controlled Nigerian government who are sponsoring terrorism around the world? Why is the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Miss Katrina Liang, romanticizing, holding hands and taking photos with the terrorists who are holding her own British citizen captive unlawfully? If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is to be a white British citizen, would he be abandoned to die in a foreign country for committing no crime? The answer is no. For asking for the freedom of Biafran people in Nigeria, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. For practicing Judaism, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. Calling on the world leaders to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now to avoid the dire consequences if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is killed by Nigerian government and her accomplices. Free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now. Let Biafra go. What the Almighty God cannot do does not exist. This message is supported by the human rights advocates. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, a British national
to understand this very evening,
activist who was traveling.
We are facing a very
Of course, what the Almighty God cannot do does not exist.
to understand this very activist who was traveling. We are facing a very
Of course, what the Almighty God cannot do. Let me bring it back. Just one moment.
formidable array of enemies,
This
both external and within.
Actually, whenever you feel like you see a lot of temptation, castigating, every plot against you, go back and listen to this video that I'm about to play now. Go back and listen to it. This is the video. You should go back and listen to it. Let me bring it to you. Just one moment. Now, let's go.
I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you, that they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond, to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Oba, Biasika, and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we are doing. You can't. You cannot. Not in a trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwukika Abiyama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Owe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not if you know what, the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook. They can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything to make sure that you're like them. But this very IPOB, this very hardcore is not going to move. And I will tell you why we can't move. But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you.
I think, keep repeating. So, this is the way it is. You shouldn't actually forget that this is what you need to look for. Each time you feel like it is too much, you look for it, you listen to it, you will know that we are prepared for this time. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu got us prepared on time. Let us leave it here until we meet again. Bye for now. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over.